And we are live. What's good, people? It's your man DL Saint. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to all y'all. Give yourselves a hand for making it through the weekend. And we are here. Yeah, man. I was gonna jump on yesterday, but I decided just to go ahead and relax, just kind of chill out, see what's going on. Spend some time with my daughter. We had to go buy some stuff. And all that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill, take a look at what's going on. I got some pretty cool stuff lined up for this week, y'all. I'm gonna be talking a little bit of Andrew Tate, about what's going on with that. I kind of want to just give a different view, a different viewpoint. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot going on. So I'm gonna do a couple episodes this week to talk about what's going on with that. The last show I did back on Saturday, I was talking about LA, like the homelessness issue. The city council voted some measures to start to rein in the homelessness. There's a law that they passed where you can't have a homeless encampment, or you can't be sleeping on the sidewalk or whatever. You basically can't be homeless within 500 feet of a school or a daycare center, which a lot of schools in LA, a lot of daycare centers in LA. So you can see that this is definitely a shot at homelessness. And then, of course, the homeless community, were firing back. So that's just one thing. I did a video a few days ago. I think it was last week. I did a video about LAPD telling the citizens of LA not to wear nice jewelry, not to wear nice clothes, not to go on, like shopping in nice areas, because there is a rash of robberies that's going on out there. So today I want to talk about, I stumbled across the video, is why I'm leaving California. My honest thoughts will probably offend you. And this is done by, I forget the name of it's a YouTuber. I forget the name of her page, but I clicked on it, I watched it, I checked it out, and I was like, you know what? She is spot on. And what's so unique about this particular this insight from this particular woman is she's native to California, to LA, and it's really rare to come across people in LA who are from LA. That's really hard to, you don't see them. I've mentioned this before. You just don't see them. So and the one thing about people from California or from LA, they don't move. They don't want to move. They just kind of deal with the situation, but it's all coming to a head. Act Ozzy, what's good, bro? How you feeling? Up there in Canada. Who knows, man? We may have to come up there and join you. Thanks for popping in on a Monday afternoon, man. Thanks for checking on your boy. Appreciate it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I managed to do that, man. We're growing in numbers, but I got to get my views up. So I'm going to have to really look at the content, what I'm putting out there, and try to find ways to get more eyes on. But yeah, man, we getting there, bro. We getting there slowly but surely. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. It's because of you, man, my other day ones as to why I'm able to do that. So yeah, man, we're working on that, man. We were working on that. I'm just looking at, oh yeah, I can't do it. All right. I was just looking at some stuff on here. As soon as I can, bro, as soon as I'm allowed to give wrenches out, I got a wrench for you, bro. You know what I mean? Gonna need that help. Gonna need some mods when we get there, start getting views up, get more people to join in. That comes with the trolls. That comes with the trolls, so that's part of it. If I can get successful and get a bunch of trolls, then I know I'm doing good. So yeah, we're gonna watch a little bit of this video and just kind of react to it. It's a really well made video. First of all, like the editing and all that is on point. I understand why, because she's in Hollywood. If I were still in the Hollywood area, I would absolutely be doing videos like this, not live, because I would have access to editors and stuff like that, and I'll be able to put it together the way I want it. My editing skills aren't that great. In fact, my editing skills suck. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm horrible at editing, but I'm gonna have to get better. You gotta hone your craft. I'm gonna get better. So again, y'all gonna start seeing me posting some stuff that's edited. just bear with me when I do it. You'll get to see me get better at it, but I'm gonna start off pretty bad. I'm telling you up front right now, just being 100% honest. But let's get back to California, man. Like Cali, living in California, I'm telling you, it was definitely a cool experience. But I don't understand why people are still there. Like it when you talk about expensive, there's like a whole nother realm of expensive. Like if you live pretty much anywhere else in America, with a few exceptions, like New York, Seattle, DC. Like it's certain places where expensive means something completely different. You know what I mean? When people take me somewhere in Florida and say, "Oh, it's gonna be expensive," it's like, please. It's like a whole other kind of thing. Candace M is in the house. What's good, Candace? Thank you very much. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I just gotta get the views up. I gotta get my watch hours up. I'm working on that. I got some ideas. I'm about to start doing some things, trying to get the views up. I've been researching and studying YouTube. I'm seeing what's out there. So I'm gonna try to bring some of that to this platform and see if we can't get there. But thank you very much, Candace. Thank you. Appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're like a monster mod over there on the Fresh and Fit platform, doing big things over there, supporting not just Fresh and Fit, but also the Fed It, and also Fresh's platform as well, like his vlogs and all that, his other channel, and just supporting everybody in general, man. I see a lot of love going around out there on that side of the internet. And I see a lot of love on the other side too. Shout out to Suzette Speaks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know that's my people. And her speakers, the Suzette speakers, be, out there like Brother Act and all those people. They're out there supporting each other. They support me and other people too. So shout out to them as well. But California, y'all. So we're gonna watch this video, and keep in mind, she was born and raised in the LA area, if I'm not mistaken, in Southern California. So her take on this, I thought, was really, really good. So let's pull it up real quick and have a look see. And we'll do we'll do that one. We'll do this one. We'll do this one right here. So let's check it out. Oh man, my man Jay Swans. You know what? Before we get into that, let me bring Jay Swans up real quick. What's good, brother?
Chilling, doing the honeydews, man. Doing the honeydews today. You know how it is.
Honeydews, bro. Yeah, I do know how it is. Yeah, I was out buying getting a trombone for my daughter, man, because she don't like. She always wanted to play the trombone. They asked her to play a different instrument last year. She didn't like that instrument, so I had to go get a trombone. The good news is it was like way cheaper than the other instrument. It's like way cheaper, so I was happy about that.
But tell you, I ain't doing a trombone, but I'm up here getting plants and dirt, man. I don't do no yard work, so.
Hey, bro, you love it, man. You love it over there, man. So, and then when you tell me stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, you gotta get your hands dirty? That's how I feel about it.
Hey,
that's how I feel about it.
I got people for this. But,
exactly.
Yeah, Ned said she got people too. Look just like me.
I don't care what you look like, man. Shoot, the money's good, bro. I'm gonna pay you with this green paper. That's worthless, but I'm gonna give it to you.
No, she ain't paying me though neither. So like I said, she got me.
That's crazy. Brother Roman's in the house, man. What's up? Thanks for the support, man. Thank you. Yeah. I got a bunch of subs, man. They came through, man. Industry's grinding, hitting up everybody I know, asking for favors. It's like, yo, man, just subscribe, bro. You ain't even gotta watch. My whole thing was like, let me get subscribers, and then we'll get the views up. So now we're working on the views. So shout out to you, Brother Roman, in the house. So Jay Swans was born and raised in California, y'all. Like hails from Sacramento. And we were just talking about this, bro. So this thing with California, man, like all these folks are leaving. What's your take on it, bro? Why do you think that is a thing?
It's expensive to live there. Well, it's a lot of the people that are leaving are, they're leaving from like the Bay Area up there near San Francisco. And actually the ones leaving are the ones like Sacramento, because everybody from the Bay Area and San Francisco is, selling their 2-bedroom shack for $2 million, then moving to Sacramento and paying cash. And then the folks in Sacramento, they're moving up to Reno, and paying cash up there in Reno. I mean, Southern California is doing the same thing. I grew up down there in Southern California where, out in the Santa Clarita Valley, that's where the cheap stuff was. You can live like a king out there when I was growing up. But now, I mean, that's just a suburb.
Yeah, bro. Canyon Country,
So,
Canyon Country, you need about 600,000 or 700,000 just to get started. And you're breaking up a little bit, bro. I think it's gonna get better here in a second. We might have lost you. I think we lost you there. Don't hang up yet. It's just a lag. I don't know if it's where you're sitting. Yeah, man, your 4G just went down to like 0.5G, bro. We can't. I'm hearing like every eighth word, and your screen is frozen. So I think it's probably where you're sitting. I don't know if y'all got that rolling kind of thing out there in the middle of nowhere where you at, right? But what Jay Swans is saying is true, y'all. Like it's real expensive to live in California, the whole state. But you look at LA. You're like, man, LA is expensive, but San Diego ain't much better, right? And San Francisco is way worse, right? So it's crazy out there, and people they're getting to the point where they're like, you know what? They're making the choice to leave, And in this video here, we'll start playing some of this video where she made some really good points here. So let's just check this out. Brother Jason's in the house. You know what I'm saying? What's good, bro? So let's get this video going. Bam.
I lived my entire life in LA, so I don't take my decision to leave lightly. Will I regret it? Will I miss it? I go back and forth on these thoughts all the time as I'm dealing with the stress of having to move my entire life somewhere else. In this video, I'm going to show you all the reasons why I'm leaving California and why you shouldn't move here. I'm going to be judging California by 3 categories: cost of living, quality of life, and opportunity. Starting.
And she was really on point with this. Sister Candace, like, my uncle lives in Canyon Country and is looking to move to Texas after he retires this December. Yeah, and he's gonna sell his house. I'm assuming he's a homeowner. He's gonna sell his house in Canyon Country. He's gonna get a shit ton of money. And he's gonna go to Texas, not Austin, like not the high cost. He could probably go to Dallas or go to Houston or go wherever, somewhere in there. And he's gonna spend a third of that money to get a house that's probably twice the size of the house he's living in now, right? And then he's just gonna be doing good. He's just gonna be doing good. You know what I mean, brother? I was thinking about it. Oh, you're thinking about moving to Cali, bro? Don't do it. Don't live there for good. Don't do it. Yeah, yeah. Stay in Detroit, for real, bro. Stay in Detroit. But let's continue with what she's talking about. She's gonna talk about these 3 things that are really important. And I gotta tell you, man, like 95% of the stuff she's talking about or more, I agree with, because I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Starting with cost of living. If you're anything like me, a 29-year-old millennial woman, you are obsessed with Zillow. And you're obsessed with maybe one day owning your own home. That would be nice. Because I grew up in California, I grew up assuming that I will never be able to afford a home, period. Partly because of all the articles I read while in college that brainwashed me into believing this. Until I realized the people writing these articles were also young, broke millennials who wanted to live in one of the most expensive cities in the country. That assumption was false then, but unfortunately it's become pretty true recently because of inflation. Even if you
I guess she was talking about broke, right? I'm working on an episode now when I want to talk about that. Yo, most Americans are broke, y'all. Just keeping it 100. Americans are broke. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing. And with inflation and everything, the purchasing power of the money that you are making goes way less. It's way less than it used to be, 5, 10, 15 years ago. So when she was saying she was being quote unquote brainwashed, that's why I don't give it 100%. Like, it wasn't brainwashing. Like, you're choosing to read certain material, and the schools are forcing certain material towards you. That doesn't mean you can't go out and read other stuff, right? So a lot of these kids that go to college and they're being taught these things. They're like, this is how I have to think. This is what I must read. I must consume this. You can, but you can also consume that. And then when she got out of school and she started consuming other stuff, that's when it hit her like a ton of bricks. Like, oh shit, they weren't lying.
If you live an hour away from city center, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house is most likely going to cost around $700,000 or more. The only way a young person is going to afford buying property in California is if you're willing to live pretty much in the middle of nowhere, or you somehow strike it rich in big tech or Hollywood. This basically handicaps all young people because buying property is typically the first step to building wealth for a lot of people. So in order to live in California, you have to be basically one of 3 things. You were born here, you are rich, or you're willing to live paycheck paycheck to paycheck on what would be considered a pretty decent job anywhere else in the country. So because you can't afford a house, you're probably...
And she ain't kidding about that part. Brother Doug's in the house. What's good, bro? How you doing? Shout out to you. Salute to you. We lost Jay Swans due to technical difficulties. He's out and about running errands, and he'll, I'm not going to be on too long, but if he jumps on prior to the end of this, that'd be great, just to get his insight. And he doesn't need to watch this video, by the way, because he knows all this. Like, anyone who's lived in California knows everything she's talking about. So it's just 100% facts. When she was talking about homes, like if you want to buy a house, you're going to need, all this money just to get a starter home. Those numbers that she showed, or, like she's looking at Zillow and whatnot, those numbers, pretty accurate. The places, the areas that I was living, like a 3-bedroom starter house was, right around $1 million. You know what I mean? When you're talking about Studio City, North Hollywood, parts of Van Nuys, Sherman Oaks, like these places, like in the valley, the south part of the valley, closer to Hollywood, $1 million. You know what I mean? $1 million. And if it got a pool, it's over $1 million. And we're talking about starter homes, y'all, like 3 bedrooms, you know what I mean? Like maybe 1,500 square feet, maybe. So it's crazy out there. And Brother Doug, it's bad in Cali when Californians are living in Mexico and working in Cali. Facts. That is all over. I first started seeing stories on that in 2018, 2019. I lived in San Diego for a few years, and there were a lot of people in San Diego who lived in Mexico, and they commuted every single day. And these were people, like middle management guys, people making about 50, 60, 65,000 a year, working in America, but living in Mexico. And there's a lot more people doing that now. In fact, I was just watching something, I think it was on Vice. Mexico City has been overrun by expats, and Mexico is starting to quietly crack down on it because Mexico City is becoming unaffordable for Mexicans. And it ain't like here. Like when they come crashing down, they come crashing down. So it was like some heartbreaking stories. And you still got the element of danger down there. Like the cartels, the drug game is still doing what they do. Mexico City is a beautiful place, but I'm telling you, I rarely go there. Like it's beautiful, but it's lethal. It can be dangerous. You go down one wrong street at the wrong time, day or night, and that could be it. You know what I'm saying? You could lose your arms, legs, head, all that, just because you saw something you weren't supposed to see. They ain't playing down there. But Americans are going down there. They're going down there in droves. So yeah, shout out to you, Brother Doug, because he is on point.
Probably gonna get yourself a 1-bedroom apartment, right? After the pandemic, that typically costs anywhere between $1,700 to $1,800 a month. Utilities will cost you anywhere between $200 to $600 a month, depending on the city. Groceries for a small family is probably gonna cost anywhere between $500 to $600 or more dollars per month, depending, because inflation has made food practically double in price in the past few months. So in my opinion, you basically have to be making $2,400 a month to be living a pretty average lifestyle in LA. That's about...
And she's calling it average. Like LA average is probably upper middle class anywhere else. You did. Like, so when it's not, she's not talking apples to apples right now. She's in her LA mindset. So she's like, well, the average person in LA, and it's the average person in LA, especially her age, they got roommates. You know what I mean? They're always doing some sort of hack, be it a house hack if they can get into a house, or a car hack. You see a lot of that. People are just, they'll buy a car and then they'll Toro it out or whatever they're doing because they're dependent on the money that they make off their car. Right? They're dependent on being able, like they'll rent, that their credit's good and they had a little bit of money set aside. So they'll rent a 3-bedroom and immediately go to rent out the other 2 bedrooms and rent out the living room. Like any space for somebody to sleep in California is, you can make money off of it, and that's what they're doing. So, yeah, man. So that's what she's talking about. So California average is doing really well anywhere else in America. California average comes out here to Tampa, and even as expensive as Tampa is right now, California average is top of the hog out here, top tier out here. For real. Money, all that money. Do you see what she was talking about for groceries? Right? She ain't talking about for her family, she's talking about for her. Close to $600 a month in groceries for one person. She's not exaggerating.
$60,000 a year. How many young people are making that much money straight out of college? Out of all of my millennial friends who are basically in their 30s at this point, very few of them are actually making this much. And I haven't even talked about the cost of gas and the price of owning a car, because
And you see, and she said $60,000 a year is what you need just to maintain that basic stuff before car expenses, insurance, and all that kind of stuff, before gas, and gas has always been expensive out there in California. This is why I always say there are people out there making $60,000, $70,000 a year, and they are homeless. They are homeless, and this is why I say that. I've worked with these people. I've seen them. Like, damn, you living in your truck? Like, yeah, I'm trying to save money.
Have to own a car in LA. Everything is very spread out, and it's the only way to get across town because public transportation is a nightmare. Gas is going to be an expensive weekly cost, and it's only going to go up because for whatever reason the people here keep voting for the gas tax to increase every single year because our government tricks them into thinking that all that money is going to go to fixing the roads and towards green energy. Except our roads aren't fixed, and our green energy, I don't even know if it exists because we get rolling blackouts every single year, and insurance for your car is going to cost close to $2,000. On top of all of that, California has some of the highest state income tax in all of the country. I actually think it's the highest, and they're considering doubling the state income tax. That hurts my soul because when I was working at Disney, I was basically paying $25,000 to $35,000 a year.
Did y'all hear what she said? That's what she was paying her as an individual. Like, she ain't got a family, yo. That's what she was paying in income tax. She can't afford the home, so that's where you're gonna get most of your tax write-offs and stuff like that. She's working at Disney, so it's not like she had a lot of time, and she's probably like, well, I got a good job. I don't need to do all this other side hustle stuff. And they were in her pockets. The majority of that money is state tax, right? Not the feds. The feds taking a big chunk too, but the state are in your pockets out there in California. Like, and this young woman was out here trying to make it, and like she was talking about the car. Yeah, I know she showed a 911 in the video. Trust me, she ain't driving a 911, right? She's probably, if she's lucky, driving a Tesla because she wants to save money on gas and just to get a hybrid, if not a full-on electric car. But people can't afford to buy the Teslas. They'll go out and buy the what's the other the one Ford made, I can't remember. The one that everybody bought at first, the hybrid car that came out. I can't remember the name of it. But they were driving a lot of those. The Prius. She's probably got a Prius or something like that, or like a Honda hybrid or something like that to save on gas. But then you have to pay an extra tax on that too because you're driving this electric vehicle. It's crazy out there. They put money on everything in California. So this is what I'm talking about. And then she's going to continue and talk about entertainment costs too. So it just gets good. It's about 9 minutes or so. We're about 3 minutes into it.
Income tax. That's a whole person's salary. Doubling that makes it so why would I even want to work? Why would anybody want to work at that point? For what? And if you're young, you might think what I used to think when I was young and naive.
That taxes aren't all bad because we need them in order to help people that need help, to fund green energy, to do things we normally wouldn't have the money for.
But let me tell you, young viewer, as I got older and slightly wiser, not by much, enough, I felt lied to, especially by the Californian government. We were promised a lot of things, like our water scarcity to be fixed, like a fast bullet train, like the ones they have in Asia, to bring us from LA to San Francisco in a few hours. We were promised our roads to be fixed and the homeless to be helped. None of that ever happened.
She ain't lying. I was out there for all that. None of that ever happened, and it all got worse. It all got worse. The rolling blackouts she's talking about. People are faced in the hottest part of the year, in the summertime. People are using their ACs, right? It's hot. It's the desert. Most of the folks live in the desert part of California, like, away from LA. The further north you go, the more barren and desolate it gets, and they're building out there. So imagine that. You're sitting there, it's a 100+ degree day, and all of a sudden the power goes out in the whole neighborhood. Rolling blackouts. You're sitting there roasting in your home. It's miserable. Miserable, right? And this is all because, if you do this is going to help us conserve power and water and this and that. None of that's true. None of that's true. And they're having huge issues now with water again. Water is becoming huge. Lakes are drying up where California is drawing this water from. They're drying up. So, hey, this is a problem. This is a problem.
happened. And yet a third of my income just went poof into thin air. And what I learned in my 20s are that people are incompetent, and the government are full of incompetent people who think they know how to handle your money better than you do. And now for quality of life. And you might be thinking, well,
And it's funny, like you hear her talking, right? This is like the typical Angelino. She's she's attractive. She's gone to college. She's done everything quote unquote right. She's done it the correct way. She's coming out. She's like, man, I can't afford nothing. And here's what happens. And this is just my take on this. Places like California, like these liberal strongholds, are making Republicans every day. They're making more and more people more conservative, more cynical, and then conservative, right? So we're not doing anybody any, the Democrats aren't helping themselves with the way that they govern. They're just not doing it. Now, the counterbalance to that is the conservative party has been overrun by the far right. So they got these MAGA people to run around, and that is pushing back. There's pushing people back towards the liberal side of the spectrum. So it's kind of crazy how that works, right? It's funny how the universe works. You got a place like California who are making hardcore Democrats more conservative, and then the other side who should be welcoming these people, like yes, come over to us. We can help. We can lower taxes, and we're not going to shut off your power. We're going to let you have guns. But they come with the craziest folks, like these, America, them people, like these crazy, uneducated folks is like, I can't be around them. You run back to the Dems. That's just my little 2 cents.
pay all that money to live in beautiful weather, in a beautiful state where you can just drive to the beach and lay in the sand all day. Except the good weather is basically the only thing California has going for it in terms of quality of life because of homelessness and crime and annual forest fires. The homelessness situation is out of control. I'm seeing homeless encampments in the suburban enclaves that typically just don't have that problem. Theft is so common that people will tell you not to leave anything valuable in your car because it's gonna get broken into.
Those two things right off rip, she's telling the truth. I've talked about this, right? That's why I did the episode about the homelessness problem out there. It is real. It is real. She's talking about leaving stuff in your car. Yes. One night I was living in Sherman Oaks, and one night Sherman Oaks is in the valley. Sherman Oaks is a good area, y'all. Just I'm throwing these terms out here. Y'all probably like, what the hell is he talking about? Sherman Oaks is a good area. I was living in Sherman Oaks. I had underground parking, gated, all that kind of good stuff, right? I left my daughter's backpack, and my daughter was, I don't know, elementary school. I forget what grade she was in, like second, third grade, something like that. Left her backpack in the car. I was taking out a bunch of stuff. I was moving, you know how it is. I'm like, I just overlooked the backpack. Only thing in the car, window smashed out. Came down that next morning, window smashed out. And then I found my daughter's backpack like 14 feet away. Like they just went in there, and it was probably someone who was homeless or somebody who was like across the street because gentrification occurs. And this was like the border of Sherman Oaks and Van Nuys. Sherman Oaks, good neighborhood. Van Nuys, not so good. So it was like right there, right? And they smashed the window out over a backpack that had nothing in it but, some crayons and some, coloring paper or whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy out there, yo. Sister Candace, it's been many years since I've been in California, but I can't imagine their roads are in the state of despair like those in the Midwest. The roads in LA are worse than the Midwest. Worst. You heard me. I'm not saying this just trying to make it sound a certain way. I thought when I moved to California, they're going to have good roads. Dudes around these nice rims and this, that, and the third. Everybody got these nice cars. The roads in California are the worst roads I've ever driven on. And the reason why is because of all the seismic activity, right? The ground moves. So you got your earthquakes, you got your sinkholes and stuff like that, right? The fires cause a lot of erosion, right? It's so much going on out there. The worst roads that I've ever driven on. I'm talking about on the planet. And y'all know I've been around. California's in the top 5 on the planet. And I would say number 1 in America. The roads are horrible out there, and you pay all that money. You spend all that money. And they're like, at least can you get these potholes? I'm talking about potholes that will blow your tires. Potholes that would destroy your rim. I can't tell you how many times I've lost. I had to buy a whole set of tires because I had a pothole that was covered up by some water. You hit that joint and it'll almost rip your car wheel off. So yeah, Sister Candace, it's horrible out there. It's horrible out there. Brother Doug, I don't know why people call MAGA people far right when they want same things, lower taxes, bringing back jobs, back to America and stuff like that. The problem, I'm a registered Republican. I'm very conservative when it comes to certain things. I'm very liberal when it comes to other things. You feel me? The MAGA people are something different, right? It's just like the far left. The far left, they're out there, bro. You know what I mean? The tinfoil hat wearing people, everything's conspiracy, this, that, they're out there, right? Just like the far right. The far right, they are out there, right? These MAGA people, make America great again. That's cold, bro. That's cold. Make America great, what you mean? What do you mean? I've talked to them, and they sit there and they start talking, nostalgia and this and that. Oh, you wanted to be like the 60s? When they were hanging people like me from trees? You wanted to be like that? Oh, well, no, not that. Oh, you wanted, you know what I mean? Like you want to go back to redlining? You want to purge these neighborhoods? Bro, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying all of them are like that, but there's enough of them within that crew. There's a lot of racial stuff going on over there, man. There's a lot of Zeke Highland over there, bro. There's a lot of Jew bashing over there, man. Right? There's a lot of, I'm just going to say it. There's a lot of white boys feeling cool to say nigga over there with them red hats on. You feel me? And then they say it in front of the wrong person and they get, it happens to them. Right? It happens to them. Right? And you got, it is what it is. The MAGA movement, that's a very, very small percentage. Very, 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 very small percentage of the conservative movement. Right? I like conservatives. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like conservatives. They're cool. But they're tied themselves to these radical folks. And that's the problem, Brother Doug. That's all I'm saying. That's the problem. Eliminate that. Then you got something. You know what I mean? But that whole stuff, that whole Trump stuff, bro, there's something there, bro. There's something there. That's why I can't rock with them like that. Because I point that shit out. Like, hey, I call balls and strikes, yo. Like, no. Not that. No. Right? So I can't, all my MAGA friends, I tell them, don't say nigga in my face, is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean about that, Brother Doug. You know what I mean? Like I'm good when I want to know who you are. Like those type people, I want to know you like that. That's what I want to know. I can see it. I know who you are. Maybe we can have a conversation. Maybe I can help you, you know what I'm saying, rethink it. But that's a whole nother thing. Maybe I'll do that one day. Maybe I'll do a show and I'll bring up some of my, I know some MAGA people. I'll bring them up and talk to them and see what they have to say about certain aspects of their movement. But yeah, I got off track there for a second. Let me get back on mission. But what she was saying, all the stuff that she's talking about in California is so true. It's so true. And yeah, Sister Candace, those roads are horrible.
Definitely advise not to go outside at night in certain areas unless you want to be one of the myriad of people that have had very, very awful things happen to them because they're not from here and they do that because why? For example, as someone who's familiar with the USC area, don't go outside at night. And even if you have a lot of money, you're still going to be living right next to homeless encampments. Why?
The reason she pointed out that USC thing, USC is in the hood. USC is in the hood. You heard me. It's a little oasis in the middle of the hood. And I'm telling you stagger around out there. They literally have people on every block wearing uniforms. They're not armed, but they have radios, and they on every single block on USC, like where the USC students are. They put a lot of money and effort and a lot of security for those kids because you have these millionaire children, billionaire kids living there. So there's a lot of security there. So she ain't kidding. And LAPD is telling you not to wear jewelry. She's telling you don't go out at night. You know what I mean? She's telling you don't leave anything in your car. Somebody's going to smash the windows. It's the same thing in San Francisco, if not worse. It's crazy. It's crazy.
People in animation still choose to live here, I have no clue. There's also a really big possibility the big one will hit. And the big one is basically the giant earthquake that is going to come one day and take us all out. The food in LA used to be really good, but something about the pandemic and maybe inflation has really sucked the life and soul out of people, so they don't want to work anymore, and you just might get food poisoning. And when you eat out, it's going to cost at least $15 to $20 per person for something like a simple burger or something.
She ain't lying. I mean, that's the first thing I noticed whenever I left LA to come, just when I was living in LA, but I would, come to Florida or go to Ohio or go to Texas or go to Oklahoma or wherever. That's the first thing I noticed, man. Drinks. I'm like, damn, these drinks are cheap. How much I want for that bottle? Wow, this food is good. How much? I mean, I would be shocked at the bill. It was like, wow, why is it so expensive in California? State taxes.
For that much money, I should be getting better quality food, not worse than before. The thing is, if you're a Californian like me, you probably didn't notice it getting that bad. The only reason why I did is because I went traveling to places like Texas and Arizona, where the food is like twice, 3 times as good for like half the cost. For activities, other than going to bars, it's very not fun to be going to anything like a music event, a sporting event, a gallery show, because the wait times are gonna be crazy. It's gonna be really, really, really expensive. Just to go to the beach now costs $20 just for parking these days.
Yeah, she ain't joking. And I know this is like kind of a law in her video, but all these things add up. All these things add up. Like it's so expensive. It's like, damn, I just want to go out and have a good time, and I got to bring $150 with me. Shit, you know what I mean? And then Brother Doug, I'm gonna address this with respect, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know I respect you, man. For real, salute to you. But I want to address this, and then I'm gonna get back to the video. I'm definitely going to put on the agenda to do a MAGA episode. I want to do that. I want to do that for you, bro. But he said, I'm in the Confederacy and I don't see those good old boys like people portray. The media put the spotlight on crazy white folks just like they find the dumbest black person in the hood. I'm used to the good old boys and understand them. They don't scare me. Okay, so I'll address the second one first. I don't fear the good old boys. I fear for them. What I mean by that, the good old boys say the wrong thing around me or my people, something's going to happen. It's not something might happen. It's like, oh, we might get a little upset. Nah, bro, there will be smoke. You feel me? It's going to get violent. Right off rip. It's certain things you cannot say around me. It is what it is. I've been working on it. I'm older now. You know what I'm saying? I've been working on it. I've gotten good at figuring out which dude is going to try it. And I can go to that dude right away and convince him it's not a good idea to say the words he's thinking about saying. At least in front of me. Wait till I leave, right? So that's the second. And the first part. Here's the thing, man. And again, I said that. I'm not saying that all of them or like that. Individually, I can sit down with anyone individually and we can have a discussion. And if they can critically think, and if they can have a discussion, it's no problem. We can talk. They're cool. It is what it is. But when they come together as a group, I don't know what happens. Right? They come together as a group. Shit gets bad. It gets bad fast. You dig? You know what I mean? So, and I think they're different. I think this would be a good conversation to have, bro. Give me like a week or so. Let me put something together. Give me a week. And I agree with you. You know, it's like when something goes wrong, they go to the hood. I know some dudes in the hood that are just vicious. I know, and like I said, I know these guys who are out here on the other side, just doing what they doing. Those two camps never meet, right? I've never seen them come together. And a few times in my life when these two opposing views come together, they ain't never good, bro. It ain't never good. That's, at least in Cincinnati, it wasn't, right? We stayed out of Price Hill. Price Hill stayed out of Avondale, right? That's just how it was. Price Hill had some white boys who could fight, right? We respect them white boys, and they knew how we got down. When we came together, it was on. Like we had to go play football or whatever. It was like certain schools had to face off. Mass police presence, it was on, right? And it wasn't just like a white and black thing too. It was like that for rival, white boys was doing that with their little rival schools, and black guys were doing that with their rival schools. But when we certainly came together, on our own, Colerain versus Woodward, you knew it was gonna be some drama. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. And like I said, man, I'm definitely gonna address this in a later episode. When people say "Make America Great Again," most of them are just saying "Let it go back What? Most of them are not saying let's go back to Jim Crow. This country depends on China for 90% of its products, which means that most of the jobs. Yeah. And I get that, bro. I get that. I'm with you on that. But I'm pretty sure you would agree. Not all of the people in that movement feel that way. When they say let's make America great again, it is code hearkening to a different era, hearkening to a different time. I'm sure you would agree. And I'm not saying all of them. And I don't know what percentage of them are like that. But you know what? We can definitely have that talk, man. Make America great again means to bring back manufacturing back to the United States. I'm that spook by the door. That's hilarious. They won't let me in, bro. Like I say, man, when I walk in, it's all eyes on me. Boy, you think I've transferred into Tupac or something like that. When I walk into the room, they all look at me, and I look at them right back like, what's good, y'all? You know what I mean? It's just straight up, the needle jumps. You know what I mean? I walk in there, it's like, what's up? They know what time it is when they see me. You know what I mean? Like, and I got this look on my face. Hey, guys. Yeah. Now, one of them dropped that word is on. Right? It's on. That's me. That's me. You know what I'm saying? What's ironic, the alt-right was upset with Trump and put their support behind Biden. Go figure. Yeah, it's weird stuff out there, man. People are doing weird things. Politics is politics, and so and with respect, bro, we're gonna pick this part up, the MAGA part up. I'm gonna do an episode. Look for the thumbnail. I'll put the thumbnail out in plenty of time. I'm gonna do an episode, man, just for you, bro. I'm gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely want to talk about that. And thanks, bro. That's what's up. That's what's up. I definitely want to talk about that. So let's continue with why I'm leaving California. And like I said, she's not joking about the crime. It's gotten way out of hand. And like I said, the state of California is not necessarily Second Amendment friendly. So it's really difficult for a law-abiding citizen to legally protect themselves. Right? You got to rely on law enforcement. And LAPD has already told them, we're not going to help you. Don't go outside at nighttime. Don't go outside wearing anything expensive. Don't look good. Right? Which is crazy. And yeah, shout out to you, Brother Doug. A lot of people be afraid to even bring that shit up, man. So I got to get it to you, man. I'm going to get that to you, bro. We're going to do that episode. So let's continue.
Bars are the exception because everyone just wants to drown their sorrows. But you're gonna be paying at least $100 if you want to get lit because the drinks are weak as fuck. And the traffic just to get to some of these places is gonna be ridiculous. You're going to be spending more time in traffic than actually enjoying your life in California. And let's talk about the people. I watched a bunch of these leaving California videos and I've seen a lot of people talk about how fake and self-absorbed a lot of people here in California are. But that's typically being said by people who aren't from here like I am. I think Californians are actually one of the realest, most down-to-earth people I have ever met. Partly because they do have to live right next to Hollywood. Some people who call themselves Californians are actually transplants who work in Hollywood. Those are.
And y'all have heard me talk about these people. Caribbean, what's good? Welcome. I see you, brother. I see you. I think that's thumbs up for Doug. Yeah, be ready. We're gonna do that MAGA show, man. Give me about a week. Give me about a week. We're gonna do that show. And I'm gonna be welcoming all opinions and all sides of the debate when we do this. That's gonna be a pretty good show, and I'm starting to get amped up about it. So welcome, brother. I've never seen you before. Welcome. So we're talking about California right now. We're talking about how expensive it is. Notice how she was talking about going out and getting lit. What she didn't mention is how much weed people buy in California because it's decriminalized, right? It's still illegal on the federal level, but you know, weed dispensaries are everywhere. They got the best marijuana. They got the best marijuana products on the market, right? So people are out there. She said they want to drown their sorrows. Now, what they're doing really is self-medicating, bro. They are so depressed, and I use depressed not like clinically depressed. They're just pissed off at the situation. They're not happy. They're not happy. Shit costs too much money. They can't do what they want to do, right? They got to go home to roommates. You know what I mean? They living with some family who are a bunch of, got some weird rules and they're like stuck. It's either live with them or live on the street. Let me go get drunk. And boy, they get drunk. I was right there. I was right there with them. You know what I mean? I couldn't smoke. I couldn't do any marijuana because of my job. I couldn't, air traffic control. I couldn't do drugs, right? Marijuana, cocaine, alcohol, Big time out there, big time. And I'm talking about just social use. I'm not talking about the people with problems. Now you got to add meth and heroin, and you got to add all the synthetic drugs that are out there now, spice and all that kind of shit, mollies and all that. That's a whole nother thing. But people are out there self-medicating because life is so damn hard, right? And then when they do go out and they spend their last, $85, $95, right? They wake up the next morning, they're like, damn. You know what I mean? You're back into that hole, right? You're right back where you started. You did. So, it's a lot of self-medicating going on out there in California.
These are some of the most narcissistic psychos I have ever met in my entire life. And they come here from all over the country. But unfortunately for me, many of my friends who are normal have moved away or have lives of their own now, so I don't actually see them all that much on a daily basis. And because most of the other people here are transplants, there's no real sense of community. I thought I had one when I was working in Hollywood, but these Hollywood types are only friends with you when it benefits them. The minute things get hard, these so-called friends are going to disappear. Just look at any Hollywood celebrity that has recently been canceled. Where are...
You hear what she just said? That is 100% true, y'all. People in LA, and again, one of my sayings is, I'm not mad at you for being you. I don't get mad at people for being themselves. I don't. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at you for being you, right? It's up to me to figure out who you are. I ran with a tight group of people, and we've been close for over a decade now. And when things get bad, we would help each other. And we still do to this day, even though I'm not in California anymore. It's like I had a California family, for real. But the majority of the folks out there, they don't help each other, man. They don't give a shit. It's what can you do for me? And I mean, you see that with dating. You see that people with relationships. Like, you see people get married to somebody not because they love them. They get married to them because they can get stuff from them and then move to the next one. Like, you see that in California. It's like, damn, you know what I mean? It's like, that's fucked up, man. How you feel about that? Like, man, that ain't me. And who am I to judge? That's how they gonna live their life. California is full of people like that. And when she was talking about narcissists and all that kind of stuff coming from transplants, I've seen it. People come out there, I don't know what it is about California. Well, she kind of touches on this coming up. She touches on it here a little bit. Maybe she's right. But these people, right, they're like, they come out there, man, they just buy into this life. And you just watch the soul get sucked right out of them. You just watch it. You know what I mean? You just watch it. So let's continue.
Their friends. Most of the people I interact with on the day-to-day are strangers, and the mental health of most people here isn't that great. People are angry, anxious, cranky, and prone to yelling at you for no apparent reason. For example, I've noticed a huge uptick in drunk drivers during the past 2 years. Every single time I come back from visiting another state, I'm a whole new person, and I just slowly see myself revert back to your typical angry Californian that has no time to deal with any of your bullshit. I just don't like the person I'm becoming just by being here. My friends and family were the last thing keeping me tied down to California, and even that is gone. Now for opportunity. It's kind of...
She's keeping it 100 there. It sucks it right out of you, for real. I tell folks all the time, California is a good place to visit, but you don't want to live there, and that's one of the main reasons. It happened to me. I was out there so long, got to a point, I'm like, I don't even know who I am. That the shit I was doing didn't even make sense. Like, what am I doing? I got myself caught up in a situation. I can't blame no one but me. You know what I mean? I can't. And this, I'm not talking about anything legal. I was able to maintain, you know what I mean, that's like my street sense never failed me. I was able to maintain that, like stay away from any real trouble. But I'm just talking about relationships and social shit. I got myself into so many things. And like the last thing I got myself into cost me big time. Right? It's costing me now. It's going to cost me for the next, I don't know, 12 years, if you get my drift. Right? She's talking about taxes and all that stuff. Boy, wait, I tell you this, you don't want to get caught up in their family court system in California. You don't want that to happen. But again, my fault. It was my fault. And it's like she said, you leave California, you recharge your batteries, you come back, it's like, all right, cool. But the longer you stay there, it just sucks you, yo. It drains you. It does. Unless you have a good partner, a good husband, a good wife, and And you guys are removed from the bullshit that goes on, which can be done. My man Jay Swans was like that. He was removed from the bullshit. He had a great wife by his side. Yeah, they had, I'm sure they had issues or whatever, but they had each other to draw on. So it was hard to compromise them, if that makes any sense. And Brother Doug is talking a little bit more on the political stuff, which I agree with some of the stuff he's saying. I'm just not going to read it. I'll let you guys read it. We're going to finish up the video.
The reason why people move to LA. You see it in movies. The young aspiring actress moves to LA and then gets discovered by a big Hollywood producer. What it's really like is you move here, you get a job in Target trying to make ends meet, and you wait around until someone finally notices you, but that day never really comes. And maybe one day you finally do make it, except you turn into an awful human being that treats other people like shit because you were treated like shit. Or you never make it, but your pride is too hurt to go back home with your tail between your legs, so you just bum it in LA for as long as you can. And I've talked to so many Hollywood hopefuls that don't understand that Hollywood doesn't even pay that much compared to the cost of living that you have to have a halfway decent life here. When it's pretty difficult to get even an entry-level job in Hollywood, how much are you willing to put up with just to live paycheck to paycheck? And the saddest part...
And it's funny that you talk about how much you want to put up with. And this is the stuff that I talk about. And I've said this on Suzette Speaks platform. It's what people are willing to do to get these shit positions, right? Just to get their foot in the door, right? What are they willing to do to the gatekeepers or with the gatekeepers, if you know what I mean? So when you look at the Harvey Weinsteins of the world, right? Harvey, horrible man, horrible man, what he did. But he followed up on his end of the bargain. It was a terrible bargain that he made for me. Like I wouldn't have taken that deal. But the people who did take the deal, they got exactly what was agreed upon. Harvey got to do nasty things to them, whatever he was doing with them, but they did get the role. They did get the whatever, right? There's so many Harvey Weinsteins out there. So many. And like I said, we talk about in the media and on the big picture, we talk about what these men are doing with these women. Normally older men, powerful men, these deals they're making with these younger women. I'm here to tell you, it goes deeper than that, people. It's these men who are trying to compromise young men. That is going on in Hollywood all the time. I was just shocked that I haven't seen it in the mainstream media. You saw a little piece of it with what's the name of the black dude, the former football, can't think of his name, the Terry Crews. You saw a little bit of that with Terry Crews. You know what I mean? He's a little bit of that with Terry Crews. But it's never been blown out of proportion because the man's not going to step up and say, yeah, I gave this guy a dome, or I let this guy do things to me so I can get this role in Hollywood and become a major A-list star, A-list celebrity. You're not going to get that. You know what I mean? You're just not going to get that. It's crazy. And Brother Doug, I don't care about parties. I support whatever side opposes, whatever side opposite of where the have yachts. Okay, I see. I don't care about parties. I support whatever side opposite of where the have yachts are. And right now they're on the Democrat side. LOL. When they switch again, I'll be back to the Democrats. I feel you. Like I said, and that's, like I said, I'm the one to introduce you to Andrew Tate, man. What does he says, man? It's have yachts and have nots now, bro. He don't even talk about politics. He's like, it's all smoke and mirrors. I've been saying that for decades. Now, either you got it or you don't. It's the have yachts and the have nots, right? And I'm trying to get a boat. I'm just throwing it for you out there. And I'm sorry I hacked up reading your chat, bro. I don't know, my mind ain't 100% yet. Hayoga 33, notice she's referring to LA. That's not all of California. It's not all of California, but the rest of California is not far behind, right? Like the cost of living is high throughout California, just not as high as LA, not as high as San Francisco. You know what I mean? Like the Bay Area. Like San Diego is still, San Diego is still expensive. It's expensive in California, unless you're talking about living out in Rancho Cucamonga, like San Bernardino, Palmdale, Bakersfield. You're talking about doing that, and it's getting more expensive out there. 1, 2, a lot of the gangbangers have moved out there, right? They gangbanging, they tripping hard in those places like San Bernardino, Palmdale, and Bakersfield, right? They tripping hard out there, So it's crazy, man, because people are being forced to make these moves, right? So, the good, the bad, the crazy, they're all moving about. So California as a whole, man, is rough out there, yo. So, but we'll continue with her. Like, I really did like this video that she's doing. We're almost at the end.
Some people don't even understand that you don't even really get the status of being associated with Hollywood anymore. Because people are more impressed if you're a social media influencer in 2022 than saying that you were some PA for some TV show. And if it's wanting to work in a creative field that you're after, you can do that anywhere now with the invention of the internet. You can make your own creative project and make it wildly successful without having to bend over backwards, sell your soul to a bunch of industry gatekeepers that will chew you up, spit you out when you are no longer useful to them. So whenever I have anxiety that I might be making the wrong decision to leave California, I think about these things. And I realize the California that I would miss is long gone and has already been gone for a really long time. If you were in my shoes, would you leave California? And maybe I've convinced you to move too. So to check out other states to potentially consider moving to, check out these videos next.
That was popping right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was popping right there.
Folks, we are leaving.
That was popping. So, yeah, man, let's give her a hand. Miss Honey something. Let's give her a hand. That was a great video. I left. You know what I mean? I left. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I know that there are a lot of people I know who were born and raised in LA, the LA area, and they're leaving. It's just the bottom line. It's just too expensive. It's just too expensive. And those were some good reasons as to why that she left California. But that Hollywood thing is crazy. Yeah, and brother Hayoka 33, yeah, good to see you again, man. That Hollywood stuff is crazy, though. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's out there. It's weird. Now, if you have the money, right? If you're making, let's say, household, either as an individual or, household, like, with married or whatever, if you're making $300,000 a year, you can live out there and, all the high costs, everything, it is what it is, but it's not going to affect you at all financially. She said that the restaurants, that the food service is getting bad. That's kind of horrible, because they have some great restaurants out there. I mean, they have some of the best chefs on the planet out there. But again, not all costs. If you can afford that lifestyle, then LA is not bad. I want to be able to wear my nice watches when I go outside and not have to worry about having to fight somebody off over the watch, or worse yet, having to grab my weapon and defend myself, which I keep. You know what I mean? But what gets me is California won't even allow you the right to arm yourself. And they know it's jacked up out there, right? Parts of California, like the Sacramento area, like Jay Swans, he had a concealed carry. You know what I mean? But I could never get my hands on one. I could never get one. And I knew people politically. I still couldn't do it. So, I don't know. That's why I left. I don't know how you guys felt about that, but I'm going to link the video below so you guys can kind of watch it if you jumped in late. But yeah, that's just like California is, they're going to have to make some changes out there, man. I don't know what's going to happen. Like this, I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's really crazy out there. Politically, there's ramifications as to where, what happens. California is such a dark blue state. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going to happen out there, guys. But yeah, that's the show. I was hoping to get this done in 45 minutes or less. Came in around 58, 59 minutes, so it still wound up doing an hour. I'm gonna blame Jay Swans, because I was hemming and hawing trying to get him on here, so I'm gonna blame him for the extra 15 minutes. Right? Good to see you too. Left 2 video links under the AI chat we had. All right, cool. I'm gonna check them out, bro. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna check them out. Thanks. And I am working on a show. I want to talk about James Webb Space Telescope, man. I want to talk about that. Hopefully by Friday I'll have that one up and going. Like I said, I'm not one of the smartest dudes on the planet, but I'm wondering what we're really going to see with James Webb. Like, did we open Pandora's box? Do we really want to know what's deep out there? Do we really want to know? I'm gonna have that talk, right? So look for that on Friday. I'll probably have a thumbnail out tomorrow or Wednesday, but I'm gonna definitely talk about James Webb Space Telescope. Hope to see y'all there. All right, I'm done here, man. This is it. That was the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, leave a like anyway. Do me a favor and share the video, please. I'm trying to get the viewership up. We have the subs, but we need to get viewership up. So any ideas you guys have for content you want to see, let me know. You can hit me up. Like leave a comment on one of the shows. I'll see it. Or on Instagram, you can find me under Don Lewis. But now I just changed my username. It's I Really Want to Know Podcast. All one word. I Really Want to Know Podcast on Instagram now. So I'm trying to get everything linked up and sorted out. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, and Hey Yoka 33, like, yeah, that would dovetail with your AI video. Absolutely. I love science and stuff like that. My dude Rook, he's in Greece right now. He'll be back. When he gets back, we're gonna delve back into some more history. We're just gonna keep it going, man. We're gonna keep it going. So thanks for y'all for coming through, man. I really appreciate it, brother Dub, brother Hey Yoka coming through. Appreciate it. Sister Candace was in the house, brother Jason, brother Roman. Thank Act Ozzy was in the house. Thank y'all so much for coming through. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.